Hello everyone, we are back. I have safely taken Vulgin to where he needed to go. And I found this guy called Grimelios. Grimelios, hello.
Yo.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm good, just chilling. Watching some Ori.
Yeah, so,
as usual.
Yeah, so Grim was thankfully helping us out in the truck for that whole race. So now I'd like to hear your thoughts. You've been watching this whole thing along with us. What do you think of that seed?
Well, first and foremost, I kind of want to echo what Vula mentioned, which has nothing to do with the racers, and that's that it is impossible to keep track of 4 screens at the same time.
Yes.
So that's Vula, or maybe it was you who mentioned that we have, for all of these doubles races, like 3 or 4 people on truck at the same time helping with stats and keeping track of who's found what and that sort of information. And it's because it's so easy to miss something, and it sort of cascades as well. Because once someone finds something, that of course can unlock new pickups, and that influences the commentary. So it's an interesting challenge to keep track of it all.
Yeah, we really couldn't pull this off at all if it wasn't for them. Like, trying to talk and then follow all 4 streams at the same time. It's just, it's a really difficult task. Almost as difficult as running this game itself.
Almost. That was a solid race, though. It certainly brought back uncomfortable memories for me of when Tara and I lost, I think, 2 teams Skillless, primarily due to not finding a Sunstone Shard. They also just played better, but we lost quite a bit of time searching for one more Sunstone Shard. And as I think it was you mentioned just a moment ago, it was pretty incredible that Sigma was able to find that 3rd Sunstone Shard when he did, due to a complete sequence break, and a pretty difficult one at that.
Yeah, being energy starved in this game is really, really tough, because not only do you use your energy to save, but also a significant amount of abilities. So we saw them trying to balance, 1 energy for saving, and then using charge flame to open up doors. Oh, not fun at all.
Right. I wanted to say something else too. You guys talked about how it can be difficult for teams to transition from one seed to the next. Like, even in practice, if you do more than 1 seed at a time, it is more difficult than you might think to mentally separate out the seeds and remember something that you haven't checked this seed, but you did check the last seed, and it can be catastrophic if there was an important pickup at some item in the world that you're convinced you have this distinct memory that you already checked, but you didn't. You checked it last seed. And that's
to a complete reset.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to do that. It can also be really fascinating when you're dealing with Randomizer, because Randomizer clearly is very random. And so even though there is a lot of skill involved in knowledge and routing and just raw execution of how you're playing the game, there's also just a luck aspect to it. Like in that last seed, Meldon and Rory lost primarily because they didn't have a Sunstone Shard, so they had to spend a lot of time looking for that. And Sigma, when he made the sequence break down into the Rolling Crushers area in Grotto and found the 3rd Sunstone Shard, we as commentators say that was a great play by him, but it was only a great play because he found something good. If he had found garbage, we could have just as easily said it was, good to check it, I suppose, but it was sort of a waste of time and he should have followed the logic. And so the interesting thing for these players is to try to look at the logic of the seed objectively and sort of, yes, try to analyze how you did, but not overanalyze it, because you might just get lucky or unlucky.
Indeed. Well, all our racers have readied up. We're beginning the race. This is match 2 in the Ori and the Blind Forest Randomizer doubles tournament grand finals. What makes a finals grand to you, Grimelios?
Oh my goodness. Part of it is...
We say finals or grand finals. A lot of times just skip the regular finals. What do you prefer?
What do I prefer, finals to grand finals?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
That's what you call it, yeah.
Well, I think I prefer grand anything.
Or you call it grand finals?
I think I'd call it finals. This isn't like the minor finals. We just finals. I mean, it might be the final match. This is a best of 3, and this is the 2nd match. So if Sigma and Razil can pull out another victory, then we will be done right there.
All right, so we picked up a Keystone as the first pickup, and we'll have to wait and see if this is climbed to confirm that we don't have the same seed. And
my goodness. It's Grenade. It's Grenade. Grenade is
right.
Grenade is nice to have early because it lets you break blue plants whenever you get to areas of the game that have them, but it can be really annoying because there's a decent likelihood that it's going to be a Grenade Bash seed.
Yeah, grenade by itself at the very beginning of the game does not unlock that much. But once you get bash, that unlocks a ton of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And as a controller runner, what do you think of grenade bashing?
Well, on
different.
a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say I strongly dislike it. That's my impression of it. The reasoning is that grenade bashing is very useful in terms of what it provides, especially once you get double jump. You can use it for quick horizontal movement through bash gliding. You can use it for extra height. You can use it to break plants. You can use it to open grenade doors. It's very, very useful. But on controller, this game, well, on keyboard as well, this game does a lot of auto aiming with your grenades. And so if you're not careful, you can have grenades fly off in some direction that you didn't intend, which is just sort of annoying and can lose you time. And that's especially the case on controller. Thankfully,
all right, so we've seen all the runners pick up a second energy cell, so they're already doing way better than they were last season in terms of energy count.
Oh, absolutely. Good check by all of them.
Yeah, since they found a keystone and no bash, they're forced to continue in this area.
It is always interesting when you get seeds like this where there really isn't any opportunity to split off the two runners from each other. I mean, you can go into this purple spinners area and grab one pickup, but besides that, I mean, everyone's basically going to have to do the exact same routing early on because there aren't any options.
Yeah, so they picked up a map stone, so Raziel's going to be heading back here, put it in. Actually, both of them are going to head back here. Yeah, since they don't have any vertical movement, the minute they go down into the wall jump area, they are stuck. So it's really smart that they both just stick to the same path here, because if there is something important in one of the areas where you would normally split off, in order to get back and go get that, you have to go altar out and then run all the way over here. So it's pretty smart that both of them are just following the same exact route here.
Oh, it's very smart, and this is also interesting when you have seats that are limited like this. In a way, it can be a relief as a player, because a big part of doing randomizers and the wall jump tree is bash. So, confirmed suspicion, we are going to get a grenade bash seat at least for a little while. But to finish my thought, doing a randomizer, there's a ton to keep track of in your head, both in terms of what you're doing and what your partner's doing and how you have to communicate that information back and forth. So when you have a limited seed, it can sort of be easy because you don't have very much to keep track of. You just only have like 2 options to check at any given time.
All right, so let's see. Charge dash efficiency. That'll be nice for later, maybe. So Raziel is heading over to this area right next to the start. It's unlocked with grenade bash and oftentimes has something useful. This is just a keystone. So Raziel is sitting at 2 keystones. So he's going to check all these light grenade doors. And then they have a potential to split here, because with grenade bash they can go do BRB, but they also have 2 keystones to open that area and left glaze that has a ton of pickups. And it looks like we're seeing just that from a team that is faster. Sigma going into BRB, and Raz is going to continue on and check left glades.
It's interesting to me that Team Skillless is not doing that split, and I can pretty much guess why. It's because talking to Milden and Rory, their approach to randomizer tends to be that they like to follow logic as much as possible. Now, Black Reverse is absolutely in the logic, but they also tend to think if you can clear an area and there's a fair density of pickups, it's sort of better to just do it. Either of these players, Milden or Rory, could have ult at any time here and continued on the path that Sigma is now taking, and they chose not to. So, to be honest, I don't know how I feel about that. But then again, Milden and Rory did beat me, so I sort of trust their logic above mine.
We got a pickup from the charge flame tree. I did not catch what it was. So hopefully we can get an update finding out what that was pretty soon.
Hopefully. We did see the one experience from Rory in the Spirit Caverns area. Sort of completely useless, but it's a fun pickup to see someone get. Especially because there's only one in the entire world. And a water vein shard from Rory as well.
Very nice. So yeah, it looks like Raziel on team that is faster is going to be heading over to that area shortly. But first he's going to pick up a few of the things he missed down here in the ball jump area. Because he now has grenade bash to go up there and get it.
For the time being, I'd recommend, if there's one place to look right now, it's at Sigma's screen, since he is currently the only, Milden's going into BRB, but Sigma's a little bit further. So if there is something valuable in Black River Burrows, Sigma will likely be the first one to find it.
I love the strat he's doing. So normally you have to carry the orb in like the all skills route all the way through this laser section on the right. But since he has Bash Grenade, you can bypass all of that and just start heading up.
That's not that easy to do. There are a lot of spikes in that little corridor that he went through. Quite easy to take a death.
Pick up at the top. It is yet another keystone. So Sigma is sitting on 4 keystones, so a couple more and he could head up to the Hollow Grove area.
Mm-hmm. They could also do a key duplication in the Spirit Caverns area, which is not intended in the logic, but it can be very, very useful. You do have to be careful when you're sequence breaking. As you mentioned in the last race, sequence breaks tended to pay off for the most part, but sequence breaking can also kind of screw you over because the logic is guaranteed to be beatable, which means that if you follow the logic, there's a decent likelihood that you'll find something valuable that you need to progress, and if you sequence break, you might miss it.
And look at this light grenade bash strat on Sigma's side. That's bypassing all those platforms, he throws 3 grenades, gets up there, pulls the lever. I love it.
Well, with that, Sigma will be able to grab the dash tree. There's a mapstone pickup to the right, and then there's the backup or whatever you want to call it in Black River Burrows that I'm guessing we'll see Sigma go check as well, and then there's the Razil No area after that.
Yeah, and with their current abilities, all of that is expected in the logic. So we'll probably see Sigma maybe go grab the ability cell and then head down to the Razil No area.
Well, it's a smart move to do that as well. Getting to that ability cell takes a little while, and once you're down there, I guess with Grenade Bash it's not so bad, but it can be sort of a pain to get out.
Right.
And dash is wall jump. That'll be a relief. Good check by Sigma on the dash plant over there. That one is very easy to forget. There's another quick aspect of Randomizer that I can mention, which is that it can be surprisingly difficult to remember what skills you have, since every single seed is different, and especially from people that are used to the traditional all-skill speedrun, you're so used to playing the game in a certain way in certain sections. Sometimes it takes a lot of conscious effort to remind yourself, like, I have dash, I have wall jump, I don't need to be doing whatever silly strat I'm doing.
Rory doing a check of the first few pickups over here on the left side in Valley. Gonna take the Frankie over here, stomp it down. He doesn't have stomps, so he needs to manipulate these to get anything. Now, interesting, that was an 8 experience pickup, so who knows, there could be something valuable here.
Roy took a quick death, won't be too costly though.
Yeah, he's saved at the spirit tree.
Well, a good job by him as well to not go back down into the little stoppable area again, because he just picked it up and knew it wasn't valuable. Sometimes when you're playing Randomizer, you can get this completionist bug in your head, and you just want to get everything, even though you might know it's not valuable.
Yeah, and sometimes it's really easy to get into a mode where you just, by default, go through and check all that stuff. I know I do it several times, like, why am I picking this up? It's just like 2 XP. I don't need to get this.
Well, right, and it can be tricky too, because as you're playing a Randomizer, I don't know about you, but for me, it's pretty much always the case that you have sort of a Boolean value in your head. You just think, is this valuable or is it not? And that's especially true when you have to communicate that to a partner. By the way, the clean water find from Sigma from a map alter, that would be very nice.
Yep, that was a pickup that, that is fast did not get last time.
Did they have a mapstone to do that? I see that Sigma still has one additional mapstone on top of this.
So we can, if he wants, sequence break over to Moongrot, is not going to. Altar's out of there. With clean water, you can check the long fake flippers, as we call it. So there's another pickup in the fake flippers area, as well as this light grenade puzzle right here towards the start of the game. And those are all now fair game with the pickup of clean water. Now, we haven't had a pickup that will advance them too far quite a while, and Sigma gets a Gumon Seal Shard.
Forlorn, let's go. I mean, we know that one of those advancement pickups has to be coming relatively soon. The number of available pickups is just rapidly dwindling. I'm guessing we'll see Sigma go ahead and check that long fake flippers energy cell right now.
Yeah, and he has plenty of keystones. So we haven't seen either team go over to the Spider Sack area. But with their current abilities, they definitely have the ability to get over there. We saw Meldon just altar out after he got to the Spirit Tree. Didn't bother continuing on.
Well,
So we'll see if Sigma chooses to go in that direction.
Having wall jump will be really nice for that as well. Last seed Sigma at one point actually had to ult out of the Spider Sack area at the Hell Cell because he had no way to get out. They didn't have wall jump and he only had climb at that point. But now he'll be safe if he chooses to go there. Looks like we did get the clean water find from Meldon as well.
Oh, and look at this.
Nice.
So Meldon is getting the Frankie up here to stomp this peg. This is a big sequence break. It's going to let him into Moon Grotto via the back entrance.
Come on, Froggy. Jump higher. Use your leg knuckles.
This is such a pain, pain to do.
How do you feel about this sequence break? I'm curious.
Well, so it really doesn't take that much to get into Moon Grotto. It's like 4 energy cells. And we see, Rory is sitting on 3 of them, so there could be an easy-to-get energy cell somewhere else. But since the requirements to get into Moon Grotto are so low, I don't think it's a bad play to sequence break in there, especially with just the huge number of pickups that are inside.
Well, we know that they could get there anyway, right? If they went around the Spider Sack, the Spider Pillars, and through Iceless area. They do have access to Grotto, so they were not intended to get there from BRB, but I agree with you. Generally speaking, I have very mixed feelings about that sequence break because Moon Grotto can be a very challenging and unproductive area in terms of efficiency of checking pickups if you don't have good verticality, especially if you don't have double jump. However, with Basher and Nate, a lot of that verticality is, they're good on verticality, even if it's a little bit annoying.
Yeah, so and important to note, neither runner has 4 energy yet, so they can't open the 4 energy door at the bottom. So hopefully, like the best case scenario for Meldon would be finds an energy cell somewhere up here that allows him to proceed that way. Picks up a water vein shard.
So that should be 2 for that team because Rory, I'm fairly certain, went through the Spirit Caverns already.
He did. Yeah,
so
that's where they picked up the other water vein shard.
That's good. This may be an early Ginso seed, which is kind of nice because Ginso has a pretty high density of pickups.
Extra air dash, that'll be nice as soon as he actually gets dashed and levels it up.
Now, what do we see from Meldon here? He still doesn't have 4 energy, but
he could be going for the safe drop.
There is also a trick. There is a way to open 4 energy doors using only 3 energy. There's a glitch where if you put an energy in the door on the frame that you leave its sort of trigger zone, the energy will stay in the door, at which point you can leave, refill your energy, and put 3 more in the door. I wonder if he's going to go for that. It doesn't look like it. Maybe he changed his mind.
Yeah, realizes, no, I'm not going to try and save drop.
It's always fun to try to predict what people are thinking when you're watching a randomizer.
Look at this, Raziel finds climb.
That'll be nice.
That's really nice for him. So he's going through Moon Grotto via the, I guess the standard way now that he has 4 energy. He does have clean water, so it's going to be no problem to check all these. So, Sigma and Raziel are covering. Actually, everybody's covering new ground right now. So we haven't seen the spider stuck area, so there could be something up here.
As we said, Grotto was intended at this point in the run.
Look at what Sigma's
doing. Faster. he's doing the trick.
He's taunting the 4 energy door here. That was the gateway to glide in the last seed that both teams missed.
And there it goes.
He really, really wants to get that pickup now.
It seems like a disproportionate amount of the time that pickup is something valuable.
And it's just a keystone this time.
Keystones are nice, though. We didn't really talk about this. Well, I wasn't talking, but these randomizers are often gated by skills or shards, but they can also be gated by other resources like keystones. That wasn't really the case last seed, and given the number of keystones, it doesn't seem like it'll be the case here either. But there is a minimum number of keystones required to finish the seed, and so the more you can get, you don't prefer a keystone to something like charge jump, but a keystone's pretty nice to have.
Yeah, usually we'll see a couple key dupe sessions depending on which area they go to first. There's a potential key dupe in Forlorn.
Sorry to interrupt. Meldon just found another water vein shard. It was at the energy cell in Grotto above the Crushers. That will bring he only has 2 himself, but their team knows where 3 of them are now.
Yeah, but Raziel not far behind. He's heading directly to where Meldon was, so he's going to be finding these remaining water vein shards shortly after.
That is another interesting thing. There's a lot of pickups that are far and out of the way and really annoying, but there's also a lot of pickups that pretty much every randomizer player will check every single time, given that they have the skills to do it, which they do in this case. So even though Team Skillless is, I would say, a little bit ahead right now, oh my god, look what Meldon just found.
Oh, Stomp. One of the key abilities they were missing in the previous game, or previous round. So once again, Moon Grotto is just loaded with stuff. You see 2 Water Vein Shards, Stomp, climb from the Death Gauntlet area.
Well, and also that opens up left side. The logic will always intend you to have both Bash and Stomp to go left side. You can get there with just Bash, but it's a bit of a pain, as we saw in the last seed. It's also very nice if you have double jump, but especially since they have Bash Grenade, I would not be too surprised if we saw a left side venture.
Well, Meldon is heading in that direction, so that could be exactly what he's doing.
On the other hand, there's a fair number of pickups on the right side, especially with clean water. Oh my god, Sigma just found Dash underwater. Speaking of water, that is clean.
So he doesn't have Stomp, so he can't check that remaining pickup on the bottom right. But Raziel is going to be coming up on this very soon. I think, once he finds out what's in store for him in Grotto, we'll see Sigma head over there shortly after.
This is fascinating. That dash location under the spider pillars there. Also, Sigma just found a second Water Vein Shard himself at the plant at Iceless. I do not recall whether Meldon and Rory found that one.
I don't think Team Skillless has been over to the Iceless area.
No. So that's very nice to have another. And a third Water Vein Shard. That's incredible. Now both teams have the Water Vein.
Yeah, and Meldon just picked up his third Water Vein Shard as well, so they have access to Ginso, they have Bash, they can full clear it. Will be interesting to see if they head straight there.
Meldon and Rory could also go down to Light Grenade with Stomp and Dash. They can get down there without too much trouble at all.
Well, did Meldon pick up Dash and Rory pick up Dash?
Oh, no, you're right. My mistake. It was Raziel and Sig that picked up Dash. And to finish my thought from a moment ago, it seems relatively unlikely. I guess Rory's in the area, but that underwater pickup there is very easy to forget because a large number of randomizer seeds don't have clean water. So when you sort of do your mental checklist, it's very easy to just think, I'm going to get all the things up top and then I'm done. When really you're not done because there's the underwater pickup. I know that I've missed it in the past.
Yeah, well, Meldon and Rory are very good at randomizer, so I doubt that would be something
they are. I hope they don't. Prior to a minute or two ago, I definitely would have said that Meldon and Rory had a slight lead. Now with the dash find from Sigma, I might give a little bit of that advantage over to that is faster, although there's a lot of...
Okay, here we go. Rory picks up dash. I'm really excited to find that.
So negate what I just said, they're equal again. You know what's one of the most fascinating things, as we see Sigma going into Ginso, by the way, so hopefully he'll find something valuable. Feather would be very nice to have at this point, Double Jump would be very nice to have as well, and have any Sunstone Shards been found yet, now that I think about it?
No, we have not found any Sunstone Shard. We have the Water Vein. I think we found all the shards for the Water Vein, actually. And we have a single Coupon Seal Shard.
Well,
so one big thing, Rory did not continue to double jump, or not Rory. Raziel did not continue to double jump, so that means he is lacking Stomp, which can be big if he doesn't go back there for quite some time.
And Sigma didn't go there, which means that their team does not know where it is.
Yep. I mean, eventually they're going to have to go down there, so they'll probably pick it up eventually. And Raziel has found double jump from a mapstone.
Which
number 3 or 4?
Mapstone number 3 was charge jump last seed too. So apparently the seeds today are just very friendly to map pedestals.
Yeah.
Very, very nice to have. Well, that is super left side now. Having double jump and stomp and bash. And we see Rory going and checking Horror Field's entrance as well. You can use this Baneling. This is in the logic to use the Baneling to blow up that floor.
Right. And barely gets a hitbox close enough, but he's rewarded with his keystone. Gets out of there. And we found another Gumon Seal Shard. I forget exactly where Raziel picked it up, but
Do you think we'll get the legendary Forlorn Seed, but like for real this time, where you have to go
for
there?
real, well, given the abilities that they have, I think all they really need are Sunstone Shards. So there's a possibility that they need to go there just for that. But I don't think anything else is required to be in there, at least to force them in there.
Probably not. Looks like we see Roy going to check the Stomp Cell. Meanwhile, Sigma has successfully gotten to the Bash Tree. Also just found a second Gumon Shard. So that's adding promise to the Forlorn Dream. And I agree with his choice to continue through the rest of Ginso, especially because it'll bring him into Swamp.
Yeah, there's a ton of pickups here that you can get on the way out. Still, since they're still hunting for Sunstone Shards, they need to be diligent and check all this stuff. And yeah, like you said, this will give them the ticket to go check the Stomp area, which neither team has done yet.
You mentioned that Raziel had turned back from Double Jump, right? So he doesn't have Stomp yet?
Yep, but he's down there again.
Right. So that's certainly a good thing. I can't imagine Raziel not going to Double Jump right now, which means that by the time Sigma is out of the tree, their team will know where Stomp is, and they will be in go mode in terms of skills. All they'll need is the shards.
Yeah, but unfortunately, when you're missing shards, they can literally be anywhere for the Sunstone.
Right.
Well, pretty much anywhere, depending on where Glide is.
You can try to make intelligent decisions about what to check first, but given that they can be basically anywhere, really the only surefire bet is to 100% as much as you can, which given their current skill set means 100% everything until you have all the shards, or until as a team you know where they both are. That's kind of what we saw happen last time, is if you don't find the shards early enough, you have no choice but to continue checking everything, which can be very, very time consuming.
So Raziel's now checking the area that Sigma save glitched last time. So last time they found a Sunstone Shard here. There's 2 pickups down here, and they really could be. It could be Glide. It could be a variety of things. It could be Charge Jump. Who knows? But like hopefully after this, Raziel will head down and head over to the Double Jump tree, because their team needs Stomp.
This is the most adorable head cape I've ever seen. What would you say this game's version of the Hype Cave? There's a cave in Link to the Past. This randomizer is heavily based on the Link to the Past randomizer, and there's a cave in Link to the Past called the Hype Cave because it has a bunch of pickups.
If it were me, I'd have to say the Spirit Caverns, because it's pretty early in the game. There's a ton of pickups in there, so the odds of it having a decent progression item is pretty high.
I think I would agree with you. Oh my gosh, look at Sigma's experience, by the way. He might be able to pull off a core skip. No, he doesn't want the experience.
No, but there's still there's still a pickup on the right side. There's a petrified plant. So
yeah, but like think of the swag though.
Yeah, it would be pretty nice. And yeah, he's gonna do that. So he's probably gonna break it, get both sides, continue on to the right, get it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so,
that's amazing.
Yeah, normally core skip requires you to carefully manage your XP. So you get 45 more XP at the top and level up and destroy both sides. But luckily, Sigma just ended up at the perfect experience to do just that. You don't plan for that in the randomizer, it just kind of happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you can't plan for it.
Yeah, because every pickup will completely screw up your XP.
Mm-hmm. By the way, for Team Skillless, we do see Rory inside the Ginso tree. He's made it past Bash, and just like Sigma is continuing up to the top. It's a good play. I do wonder when we'll see a left side check. I'm kind of surprised. Oh my gosh, Sigma just found a Sunstone Shard.
All right, Sunstone Shard number 1 has been found, and thankfully this time, Team Skillless will be shortly behind and find that as well.
Mm-hmm. Sort of a rough pickup. I mean, you want to split up between the 2 players on the team. You want to split up as much as possible to cover as much ground as possible, and then when you find something valuable, you communicate that to the other your other teammate, so that person can beeline straight there. Unfortunately, beelining to the top of Ginso takes quite a while, so it's still better to know where that item is, but sort of a bit of a troll location for that Sunstone Shard.
Now, the good thing is, you don't, at least so far right now, nothing else of value has been found within Ginso, so they can save that for last. Go pick up the Bash tree, head to the top, and do that at the end of the game. But Sigma's gonna find out for Raziel if he finds the 3rd Gumon Steel Shard.
We might be going
So
there.
there you go, Forlorn.
And I think it just got another one as well. So that's 2
4
Gumon
of the
shards.
Gumon Seal shards. One more to be found.
I do want to point out, thanks to Terra and the Truck for pointing out, Meldon was just able to check 2 pickups in the Death Gauntlet that you ordinarily get to using Charge Jump, but you can stomp a peg near the Spider Pillars in order to get there. Meldon just picked up Climb as well. Not incredibly useful at this point since he has Wall Jump, but it can be nice. And he got Charge Flame from the 4 energy door underwater in the Death Gauntlet.
Yeah, that's a pickup we haven't seen, but given that they already have Light Grenade, Charge Flame, and ooh, he takes a death.
That's
all the way
rough.
back here. We'll see if he's gonna probably want to go continue and grab Climb.
It's probably a good call. This is one of these seeds where a lot of skills in this game sort of have roughly synonymous skills. Climb is sort of equivalent to Wall Jump. There are differences, important differences. For instance, with Climb, you can use Charge Jump to simulate a stomp, or with Climb, Charge Jump, and Grenade.
Oh, and Sigma picks up Double Jump from the 4th Mapstone. So there we go. Now, I believe both teams are even in their skills. Both have Double Jump, both have Stomp now. Raziel's picked that up.
I think they're even as well, although it still seems like Team That is Faster is a little bit ahead. We do see Sigma in Swamp now. I'm sure he'll end up clearing out Swamp since they need those Sunstone Shards.
Indeed.
Rory just got the same Sunstone Shard that Sigma found. And then Razzo went down to Light Grenade, which I do not recall whether Skillless has been there yet.
Yeah, and Rory has picked up the Sunstone Shard for his team, so will not be blocked by that one in particular. Yeah, it's a unfortunate spot to be in. And you could see Rory has to redirect this shot all the way up here because he didn't get the time to level up. Fortunately misses, you have to go try again. But the level up really saves a ton of time here.
Sigma did some swag double bashing to take a projectile all the way up and break a barrier that is supposed to only be accessible using Charge Jump. And also thanks to Vula in the truck, as always, the truck just sort of watching our backs here. It's actually Raziel who had Double Jump prior to Sigma getting it, which means that Meldon and Rory do not have Double Jump.
Okay, once again, thank you to the truck for keeping us on our toes.
Agreed.
Couldn't do it without you guys.
Also interesting side note, Meldon just activated the lasers in Grotto. Oh, but he did find another Sunstone Shard at the Hanging Gumo ability cell.
Yeah, and Raziel found the 5th and final Gumon Seal Shard on his way through the Valley of the Wind area.
Still very doubtful that we'll see them go to Forlorn. Much as we all joke about enjoying Forlorn because we do enjoy seeing it, it is quite far out of the way, and because there are no pickups in there, most seeds will have you avoid Forlorn entirely. So even with the completed Gumon Seal, pretty unlikely that either of them will go there unless they absolutely have to.
Yeah, so this could be big for Team Skillless here. So where Sigma is right now, kind of a pain to go back and get the Sunstone Shard. Have to like backtrack through all this, through the Drainless area. And I don't think Sigma's picked up Stomp himself yet.
No, but I'm sure he'll be getting it before long. I also want to point out that while a lot of this has been happening, Raziel has made his way well into the left side. He's made it all the way to Feather, which will be picking up momentarily. I don't think that Sigma and Raziel found the Sunstone Shard at the Hanging Gumo Orb, so they still only have 1.
Right, that is correct.
We'll see if they go back to check it. I would not expect them to right away, because given that they have left side access, there's a far greater density of pickups in Misty, and especially in Sorrow, and even down at the bottom of Valley where Raziel is now, or on the way to Forlorn, there's a lot of pickups as well. Just a huge number of things to check over here.
Right, though Sigma's heading towards that Sunstone Shard. Chooses to altar out after breaking the water. So this could be big. With Raziel already in left side, you may see if Sigma continues checking things they haven't checked on the right. He's thinking about it. And he's going back over to Moon Grotto.
It's just going to be another seed that comes down to Sunstone Shards. Who's going to finish the Sunstone first?
Yep. The Sigma is in the right place. So that's really the only difference right now between the two teams, other than the 4th Mapstone check, is that remaining Sunstone Shard on this side of the map. So unless...
Just occurred to me,
keep going.
I was just gonna say as a side note, it's very strange to me to see blue water in Ori, since I'm so used to people not finishing the escape in a randomizer. It actually caught me off guard for a minute when I saw it in the Death Gauntlet.
Yeah, so for those of you unaware, clean water in this game, there's a pickup that makes the water not kill you, basically. But in order for the graphics change to happen, you have to fully complete the Ginso escape. And oftentimes people opt not to do that because Water Vein is one of the last things you really need to complete. So we'll just see them go over to Bash and get out of there.
Right. This is very interesting. Still pretty surprised that we haven't seen Meldon and Rory go left side. They've had left side access for quite a long time.
But do remember, last match, what really ended it for Team Skillless was going to left side early. This could be one of their adaptations. They want to continue and check the remaining stuff over here before they go.
Well, that's sort of what we talked about, is it can be very tempting. I'm not saying this is a bad play by Meldon and Rory. I mean, they're being very efficient in their checkups. It's just checkups, their pickups. But this is one of those things where every randomizer seed is different, and it can be very easy to sort of apply rules, like don't go to the left side too fast, when in reality, between seeds, you really have no way of knowing what's correct. But I agree that it's likely that their logic is just, let's finish everything, make sure we miss nothing, and then go left side.
Right.
Thankfully, given the skill level of these players, assuming they get all the Sunstone shards, it won't take them very long to finish everything else. At the point where these players are in go mode, they just need to rush trees and then finish the game. It won't take them very long at all.
Sigma finds just XP at the 5th mapstone. And he's getting the remaining Water Vein shards that he definitely needs at this point.
It's kind of funny, that's like 2 seeds in a row where there are 5 shards total in the world for each key, but you only need 3 of them to get a completed key, so that you don't need to 100% get every single shard in order to advance. It's just sort of interesting that in both seeds, there have been a fair number of shards past what is required for some of the keys.
Yeah, it's always funny when you find all of the shards. And look at this. Raziel's found another Sunstone shard.
That is very, very valuable as well. Now, they being Sigma and Raziel, still haven't gone and checked that Hanging Guma orb, I don't think.
Right, they have not.
So if they think to do that, that would be their third, although that's sort of a strange one-off pickup that it seems likely they would not go back and check, at least not right away.
Yeah, this could potentially be the reverse of what we saw happen in the previous match.
It might be. It's tricky though. I mean, Sigma and Raz have been covering quite a lot of ground. I mean, even if you had even if, I don't think this could happen, but hypothetically, if your first 6 pickups were all the shards you needed, you would still need to get a bunch of skills, and you still need to take the time to go to all the trees. And
right.
Meldon and Rory have been being very efficient in their searching, but regardless, they're going to have to do all the trees, and Raziel and Sigma have been making very good progress there.
Yeah, so really what Meldon and Rory need to hope for, that they may not necessarily know they need to hope for, is that they get into go mode before they head to left side. Because Raziel has to check all the stuff in Misty, he's got to check all the stuff in Sorrow if he chooses to go there. Which I think he finished up Misty, so we'll see if he heads back over there and continues into Sorrow, again without Glide.
I'm sure he was hoping for that Glide pickup, although there are a limited number of pickups where Glide can actually be. It can be on the right side. It
Sigma getting trolled by the laser. He's heading into Horu.
Glide can only be the first 2 pickups in Misty. So it still made sense for Raziel to check a bunch of things for Sunstone shards, but he knows for a fact that Glide is not in Sorrow. It can't be because the logic expects you to have Glide before you go into Sorrow.
Right. And Sigma continuing on through Horu, while Meldon reaches the top of the Ginso tree. He's going to be picking up his remaining pickups up here. Get his Sunstone shard, so Team Skillless is sitting at 2. So once they go into Misty, if they choose to go over there early, I mean, they're set.
They are. It's sort of tricky, though, because given the choice between Misty and Sorrow, which is very often a choice you have to make when you go left side, Sorrow is kind of the correct choice. There are more pickups in Sorrow that you can get more quickly than in Misty.
Yeah, but given their current skill set, it's going to be no easy task to go through Sorrow without Glide.
Very true. I do wonder if this is just going to be another featherless seed.
Oh, that would be awful, having 2 in a row.
It takes playing Randomizer to learn how much you appreciate some of these basic skills. We haven't really seen a huge amount of sequence breaking in this run. We saw Meldon earlier take that shortcut from BRB into Grotto. We've seen very minor things like some double bashing here and there, but in terms of like major sequence breaks, I don't think we've seen that much, and that's primarily because the seed has been rather generous with skills, at least for the most part.
Meldon successfully does the escape. Now he's going to cover what Rory had just done, getting everything else in the stomp area. But still, Sigma and Raz have not found that Sunstone shard. Sigma may be heading down into the light grenade area to check down there.
I think Raziel's already been here, though. I'm curious whether Sigma's going to continue down into Lost Grove and check a bunch of those pickups while he's at it. Looks like no, he's just going to go grab the tree.
Alright.
This is, I'd say, the point in any seed where you have to start to question whether you go for the really ugly pickups. You go back to the Glades laser, you go to, I don't know, the weird one-offs that you missed because you didn't have the skills at the time. Kind of gamble, do you get lucky with a one-off, or do you go for a more populous area and hope that it's there? It can be hard to choose. Statistically, you're more likely to get a better item if there are more items in total, but you also feel like a fool if there was one off pickup that you missed, and it was something valuable. You think I wasted all my time checking 1,000,000 pickups when I could have gone and checked only one.
I just want to appreciate how we have 3 tree pickups at the same time in this race.
Solid synchronization there.
Yeah. I mean, they're all different trees, but still having them at the same time is pretty amazing.
Rory is finally going over to the left side. He's going to be checking everything along the way because they still need the Sunstone Shard. I'm guessing that we'll see Meldon probably come not too far behind, especially because even if they both go left side at once, one of them can split Misty and Sorrow. These guys are good enough that they could do Sorrow without Feather, although they certainly won't necessarily enjoy it.
Well, Sigma finds extra double jump. That'll be nice to have if he chooses to continue on without glide at all. Yeah, I don't think Raziel has checked any of these pickups down here.
No, he has not, and I like this check from Sigma. This area, as mentioned last seed, is one that is often not checked, even though the logic can put things here as well as it can put them anywhere else. It seems like the logic rarely puts anything super valuable down here. Especially because you can get some of the pickups in Lost Grove, you can't get a lot of other ones unless you have like Clean Water and Double Jump and Bash. There's a fair number of pickups you need to explore this area fully.
Yeah, so this will be interesting if Rory chooses to head into Misty first. This can be huge because they'll pretty much be in go mode. I mean, we've seen last seed that they're more than capable of doing Sorrow without glide.
Looks like we're seeing Rory check the Wilhelm Orb, named because there's a frog that does a Wilhelm scream if you throw him off a cliff. A little bit of an Easter egg.
And I love that scream.
Me too. It's so classic. Yeah, moment of truth. Is he going to go Misty or is he going to go Sorrow? What do you think you would choose?
I would do Misty because Sorrow without glide, I don't even think I can. I'm physically capable in my current state of actually getting into Sorrow without glide. Unless I have like a whole bunch of health to just cheese through it.
Well, we'll find out in a second.
Oh, and look at this. Is this a coincidence? Raziel looks like he's going to do the exact same thing Sigma did.
Wow.
Do the core skip.
GG.
Amazing.
That's amazing. The odds of that happening for both players is not very high. Not very high. Looks like Rory doing neither of the above, and he's going and checking some of the pickups at Bottom Valley. We'll see if he continues towards Forlorn. I doubt that he will. Yep, he's just going to continue back. There's actually a fair number of pickups down towards Forlorn. It's just that it doesn't lead anywhere. So it can be sometimes a smart play to not bother.
Yep, so he rocket jumped up. Maybe
he's going.
Oh, no, he's getting
Sorrow,
the frog,
dude.
so
He's
maybe
going Sorrow.
he's going Sorrow.
Ooh,
This is
I
exactly
like this
what
play.
Sigma and Raz need.
I agree with you that not having Feather makes this a pain, and not intended by the logic because there is Feather somewhere. But there are a lot of pickups up here. Rory won't have any issue with Sorrow Bash, and he has a lot of health, and I think Ultra Defense. If he doesn't have Ultra Defense, he'll have it soon. One nice thing about randomizers, it's sort of similar to alt cells in that you end up getting a ton of different cells, and you can very often get all the abilities you'd ever want. And confirming from Vooligan in the truck that he does indeed have Ultra Defense.
Sigma remembering he has to solve this light grenade puzzle first before he can head up there.
If anybody wanted some nice exposition.
Oh no, sorry, that was
a cutscene.
There.
There are cutscenes in this game. You might not believe it from watching Rory speedruns, but there are. They exist. In this cutscene, something's happening. That's about the extent of my knowledge.
This is the old-fashioned father cutscene, part 2.
Part 2, yes.
You guys didn't see the first one because we skipped it. That's the one that happens at Light Grenade.
It's always rough. That cutscene's like 70 seconds.
Oh, but hey, Raziel's heading back over to Swamp. He needs to find that Sunstone.
This is just tricky. This still feels like it's that is Faster's race to lose. It is entirely possible that Meldon and Rory will find another Sunstone. Well, specifically Rory will find another Sunstone Shard here in Sorrow at any time, but they still have to check a lot of trees. Meldon still has to go check a bunch of things on the left side. I really don't know which way this is going to go.
It's all coming down to either when Team Skillless heads down to Misty and picks up their Sunstone Shard, or Team That Is Faster finds one of the remaining 2 Sunstone Shards that we've yet to identify.
Well, I mean, what pickups are left that we haven't seen? Of course, these players only know the pickups that their own team has explored, but we are omniscient commentators. So what's left that neither of us have seen? There's some more things in Sorrow that Rory's checking now.
Yeah, there's quite a few more pickups in Sorrow, that they can get. There's still several keystones, a bunch of cells, a bunch of XP orbs once they get up to the top. There's still all of Forlorn that they can do. We only saw Rory head down and get just a little bit of it.
By the way, I have to respect this play by Rory. Not just getting into Sorrow without Feather, but trying to clear all of this without Sorrow is not easy to do.
Yeah, thankfully has a ton of HP right now.
Without Feather. My words are slurring together. Too much of my brain power is focused on trying to figure out where the Sunstone Shards are. Well, where the rest of them could be.
Now, my brain is already at capacity, trying to just remember everything that's happened so far in this lead.
And we don't have to play the game, too, to give you an idea of what these guys are going through. By the way, Sigma pulling off a nice, fast Stompless, a trick where you can break the rock above Crow's head without stomping on the rock. Nice job, Sigma. Rory is making progress. He made it through that little area in Sorrow. With a bunch of pickups, he's going to go up high and get a bunch more pickups. Very nice that he has as much health as he does. Sometimes you have to do this without very much health at all.
Raziel heading through the back door into Death Gauntlet area. Altar's out. And Grim, please remind me, where was the remaining Sunstone Shard that is Faster still needs to find?
That is Faster needs to find the Sunstone Shard at the Hanging Gumo Orb, that one sort of in long route near the Ginso tree.
Right.
And the one that Skillless has not found is in Misty, I believe, because Rory is the only one who's gone left side, and Rory opted to go up top to Sorrow rather than left into Misty.
So we're seeing Sigma head down to Forlorn, and Raziel is going into Sorrow. We know so far no Sunstone has been found.
I like this play from Sigma. It is a statistically solid choice. He has 3 map stones, so he can activate the map altar. He's got plenty of keystones, even if he decides to continue all the way down and check everything in Forlorn if he has to.
Yeah, so with 2 Sunstone Shards still unaccounted for, there's a chance that they find one that's not the hanging orb that you just mentioned earlier.
Well,
Because both of them are on the left side now. If they don't find something here, this could be huge.
it could be indeed. There is a question. Looks like Rory backing out. There's a question of whether it's possible to do what Rory is trying to do, which is get over to the charge jump tree without feather and without charge jump. You can do it with a bunch of damage boosts and dashing and whatnot if you have charge jump, but without, it's probably possible, but it's really hard.
Yeah, I've seen it done before, and yeah, it's really difficult. They do have triple jump. They do have.
Sorry. Raziel's frog just despawned. I don't know if you saw that. He went up high, came back down, and it was nowhere to be found. Third Sunstone Shard from Raziel.
He's done it. Sigma immediately altars out of wherever the heck he was, and they're gonna skip glide, and for them, they are in go mode.
It's always exciting. I'm imagining some kind of like battle music. You just have both teams. You know that no one's finished yet. You know that there's a decent likelihood that both people are searching for that shard, and the second you find it, it's just you're done. You stop whatever you're doing. You rush to get the shard, and then you get out of there.
You know, that just reminds me. I think Raziel needs his own theme song, just as awesome as his nickname is.
And speaking of Sunstone Shards, I agree with you, he does need his own theme song. But speaking of Sunstone Shards, Rory just found it as well, the exact same one that Raz found. That is unbelievable. They both found 3 Sunstone Shards, and they both missed one that the other person found, or the other team found.
That's pretty crazy.
So what's going to happen now? The advantage, though, is that Raziel and Sigma already have a bunch of trees out of the way.
Indeed.
Although they do still need to get to charge jump, and we see Raziel trying the same thing that Rory was doing, getting over to this charge jump tree by doing damage boosts and grenade bashes. Not an easy task.
This is incredibly hard to do.
I wonder if we're
with,
gonna...
with Sunstone, Glide could be in Horu.
It could be. I wonder if we're gonna see either of these teams try to find Feather or try to find Charge Jump, sort of hoping that the difficulty of what Raziel's trying to do and what Sigma will have to do, unless they find something better, is worth taking the time to go try to find another pickup.
Yeah, so both Meldon and Rory... Close. Oh man, yeah, both Meldon and Rory gave up on Sorrow. So... Or maybe Meldon's going there for the first time, but... Rory headed out into Misty, so maybe he's hoping to find Glide or Charge Jump for attempt number 2.
Raziel has made it. He's through the spikes. He'll be able to go grab his tasty tree reward. Well deserved. Well deserved. By the way, getting confirmation from the truck that is faster, only needs the charge jump tree, which Raziel now has, and I think Sigma's still going to have to do. But Skillless needs both charge jump and climb. So that is faster with a bit of a lead, but to be honest, not that much of a lead. Not as much as I would have thought at this point.
So what is Sigma doing here? He's already got the Sunstone, right?
He got a Sunstone Shard.
Oh, okay, there it is. I just forgot where that Sunstone Shard was.
I was wondering the same thing for a minute. He just happened to pick it up right when you asked. Well, that's good. So that means that Sigma's going to go into Sorrow. He will, of course, get the Sunstone Shard that Raziel has told him the location of. And then hopefully he can get to the tree. I guess that answers the question of whether they're going to be searching for Feather. They won't be. It's not worth it at this point. It's always possible you'd get lucky and find it right away, but unlikely.
Alright, so here we go. Meldon is now attempting to get through, and he makes it through. That was really, really fast from Meldon.
Good job, Meldon.
And on the
we have a race on our hands.
He's already into Horu. Let's see if he gets a first try door warp.
Remember that the result of this race is based on the average time between the two players. So the fact that Raziel is ahead and finishing up is going to be very good for his team, regardless of how Sigma does. The sooner Raz can finish, the better. Sometimes in doubles races, there can be a component of intentionally delaying your finish because you want to try to help your partner search for something. Not the case here. They know where everything is.
Yeah, but unfortunately, for Team Skillless, Rory still needs to head down, grab Light Grenade, and Meldon needs to still head over into Misty and pick up Climb. And with
Come on,
Raziel
Sig.
already in the final escape, it's going to be nigh impossible to come back from this. Raziel's going to finish with a really fast time here.
Yep, Rory needs charge jump as well. I agree with you. This is going to be basically impossible. Raziel's well into the escape. Not having feather won't really matter. Not having charge jump won't really matter. He does have clean water, so he can take a nice, relaxing stroll through the water.
And Sigma makes it through the noob spikes. Again, makes it look easy. I wish I could do that. That's so nice.
Raziel's out. He did fish strat successfully. Cannot grenade jump because they don't have charge jump. But he's out. That'll do it for Raziel. And Sigma is...
He's picked up the final tree. I think that's the last one he needs, but he's heading out.
Sigma still has to go get the Sunstone Shard down below.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So hopefully he remembers where that is.
Interesting that he's taking this choice. If I were him, I think I would just go do another Sorrow Bash. I mean, for someone as skilled as Sigma, Sorrow Bash is essentially a given. It'll take him maybe 1 or 2 attempts. Looks like that might be what he's doing. Oh boy.
And he looks like he's doing just that, yeah. Meldon has picked up the climb tree. We'll see if... I'm not sure if that's it for him. He may be done. Find out shortly, depending on... Yeah, he's teleporting to Swamp, so I think Meldon is finished, just heading to the final escape. And we'll get a final time here for Raziel. He just needs to hold right with Naru here.
Very solid performance.
Another Sorrow Bash.
Mm-hmm. Especially with double bashing, he won't have any issue with this.
I think he heard you. He's doing just that.
He heard my advice through the internet somehow. We see Rory going back into there as well. I think Rory still needs to go to the sea jump tree though. Pretty sure
Raziel's finished with a final time of 52:43. That seems oddly close to what the time was last race. I want to get that number. Give me a minute to pull it up.
Sounds good.
What was Raziel's finish time last race?
53:15. Thank you, Oshi.
Wow.
He actually did better this time. Although this seed I'd say was slightly kinder with a few pickups, but yeah. Meldon, by the way, has made it to Horror. He got his door warp, and he's continuing on to the escape. Unfortunately, unless Sigma has some like unbelievable amount of spaghetti, just a whole Italian restaurant full of spaghetti, Skillless is not going to be able to catch up in time.
As much as I like spaghetti, I don't want to see any more of it for the doubles tournament. Just want to see a clean finish from everybody, get through the finish line. Maybe I'll go get Italian for dinner tonight. Dude,
I'm just thinking about it now.
Ever since you said that, like I'm now really.
Yeah. So we're gonna need 2 more commentators. We're sort of out of commission with thinking about spaghetti at this point.
We'll get to Woolajin back in here. He'd handle everything else when I go grab some food.
Oh yeah. Meldon's almost done with his escape. He also can't do grenade jump, which is probably good because it means you can't soft lock. Looks like he's just opting to finish out as well. He can't charge jump, but he'll use a grenade bash to... Well, he actually did spawn Kuro, so be careful, Meldon.
And spawning Kuro here is really difficult because you don't have glide to easily get over. So I'd say skipping Kuro is probably like the most important in this situation when you don't have any easy method of getting over there. Rory has successfully done his door warp, so he is also in the final escape.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if Sigma has any troubles with this. We'll see if he goes for the fish strats as well. He is. Awesome.
Of course he will.
All in all, I mean, Raziel did finish. Good job by Sigma. He's out of there. Looks like Meldon is going for fish strats this time as well. Doesn't want to try the not spawning Kuro tactic again. And a good job by him.
Oop.
Good job, Meldon. Good job, Sigma. Rory starting his escape as well. Interesting that even though Raziel finished quite a bit, not even quite a bit, a few minutes in advance, all 3 of the rest of them were in the final escape at pretty much the same time. So that speaks to the consistency of Meldon and Rory. Unfortunately, still behind Sigma and Raziel, but I mean, that's very good consistency.
No, he's got the name the Portuguese train or pain train for a reason. Any match versus Raziel is terrifying.
Yes, it is. Spooky, you might even say. And Rory's out as well. Everyone did just fine in the escape. Like a death from Eldon, but that's about it.
And we got fish drafts for everybody.
We did. So that means that Sigma and Raz are going to pull away with the victory. That's mostly because of Raz's
and not just the
finish
victory
time.
for this match, but they are now the champions of the Ori and the Blind Forest doubles tournament. Season 1.
Season 1. Yeah, we had some solid character arcs, plural.
By the way, Sigma finished with a final time of 56:27.
Meldon is currently doing some yogging with Naru.
Did you just say
finish
yogging?
Yeah, I think I might pronounce it yogging. It's a soft J.
Are you by any chance Swedish?
No, non-Burgundy. We're going off the rails here, doing it live. Roy will be finishing up very shortly as well. Still a very respectable performance. This seed, just like the last one, sort of came down to the Sunstone Shard, although the difference being this time that both teams needed a shard rather than just one of them.
Yeah, Meldon finishes off with a 56:37, just 10 seconds behind Sigma. And Rory will get his final time shortly. He gets a SRL time of 57:14.
Great job by all of our racers. We are going to bring in team that is faster, Sigma and Raziel, for an interview. We'll talk to them a little bit before we close things up. Congratulations on your win, guys. Wins.
Hello. Yo, thanks.
So, congratulations. How did you guys feel about those seeds, doing both of them?
Feels lightless.
Agreed.
Those were super difficult seeds.
Yeah, I can't believe you just had to do back-to-back glideless ones. I mean, Sorrow without glide is just horrible. And this time you didn't even have charge jump. How are you feeling about that?
Well, I knew we could do it. Like, we had tons of health. We had dash. Like, I had 1,000,000 ability points, so I could have zombied in if I had to. And, Raz had a ton of health too, so once we found the Sunstone Shard, we were like, okay, let's just do this again.
That makes sense. I have a question for you guys, something that I was wondering. Rory was actually the first person out of everyone to get to Sorrow and try to get to the... You'll be relieved to know maybe you'll be relieved. They didn't find Feather either. And Rory was the first person to try to do that ridiculous trick to get over to charge jump without Feather and without charge jump. Was there any moment where you considered going out of your way to try to find one or the other to make that easier, or was it never really a consideration?
Well, what we did was we put Sorrow off as late as possible because we didn't checking pickups in Sorrow is extremely slow without glide, and it's standard, so glide is outside of Sorrow. So when Raz went to Sorrow, we had nothing left to do. It was Forlorn and Sorrow. I'd already done all of Lost Grove. So yeah, I'm almost dead sure that glide was in Forlorn, and we just put off Sorrow because it was more efficient to check pickups in other places that, might be shards, might be glide, and then as soon as we got glide, we would have gone to Sorrow, probably.
Yeah, between the two teams, almost everything outside of Forlorn was checked. Though I guess there is a small possibility that glide could be in Horu, right? In the same area where Stomp could possibly be?
Not in standard. In expert, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Well, how did it feel doing those two seeds in a row? Was there any mental clutter from the previous race, or did you feel pretty clean going into it? The second one?
We managed to forget, I think, most of the first seed while we were doing it, so we didn't have too much stuck in the second one.
Forget everything immediately. I forget everything during the seed, so...
Right, definitely. Fans, any other questions for this time being? I think you guys just had some very very clean races from both teams today.
Yeah, Raziel, do you realize just how close both your times were from the first race and the second race? They were within 30 seconds of each other. for completely different seeds. I was blown away by that.
Oh, I had no clue. That's awesome.
All right, guys. While we were talking here, I looked it up, and the glide was a keystone in Forlorn. So there you go.
Oh man!
I did wonder if you were gonna go there. You were on your way for a little while, and I think it was roughly at that time that Raziel found the last shard.
Yeah,
if I recall correctly.
I heard that the Sunstone Shard was in Sorrow, like during the door opening cutscene for Forlorn, and I would have been clearing Forlorn next if he hadn't found it there.
Yeah,
Now, I
apologize.
sorry.
That's the only reason why you guys didn't solve Forlorn.
So I have a question for Sigma here. I'd noticed early on in the Spider Sack area, you did the little glitch to open the 4 energy door. You only had 3 at the time, but you managed to discover a 4th way to put it in. Was that purely because you knew that glide was there the last time you did not want to skip it, or is it just something you always do?
It was a little of that, and also, okay, there was a little bit of dregs of the last seed, so I had completely forgotten about like the left area above wall jump, and Raz had found an energy cell there, so he already had 4 energies, so I was like, 4 energy doors could be pretty important, so I need to get this one because it's just terrible to revisit. So I just made sure to do the thing and get the thing.
Well, good job getting the thing. If you don't have any other, well, if you have any other questions, Fan, then feel free to ask away. Otherwise, we'll sort of close up and talk about some of the other matches we have coming up.
I mean, I could talk about this match for quite a while, but I don't want to take your guys' time too much. So I'm just going to ask one last thing. You are now the victors of the inaugural doubles tournament. Where are you going to go next?
What's next for you?
What's next? Yeah, what's next for Team That Is Faster?
Well, we will just win the next one, I guess.
Oh man, bold claim.
Yeah, sounds
You heard
good
it
to me.
here first. Sigma and Raz have declared that they are going to be the champions of Season 2 if and when that happens.
Dude, we gotta do a 2.0 tournament at some point. Or like
Now we have to. The
10.0,
gauntlet has been
whatever it'll
thrown
be at
down.
that point. It has been. I mean, you can't beat Team Zote, but I appreciate your tenacity.
You know, Team Zote,
Always wins.
they just were too early. They needed a little bit more time to prepare, so next time they're going to be coming in at full power. And I'm going to preemptively make my bracket now, because I have an unofficial one for this one. Team Zote is going to win the Randomizer Doubles Tournament Season 2. You heard it here
Absolutely.
first. Sigma and Raz don't stand a chance here.
Well,
Any
with that, we're
final
gonna.
thoughts, guys?
Well, this was pretty fun tournament. In fact, shoutouts to the organizers. You know, the truck, the streamers, the commentators, everything. It was really fun thing to do, and well, let's do it more often, I guess.
Absolutely. So with that, huge congratulations to you guys, Sigma and Raz, for winning the doubles tournament. Fantastic performance by Meldon and Rory as well on all the other teams in the tournament. Doing randomizers is not easy. It takes quite a bit of practice. So it's really cool to see how everyone improved, and the randomizer improved over the course of this whole thing. That will do it for the doubles part of this tournament, but we do still have singles. But to go over some of the upcoming matches, I'm going to throw to our third commentator, Vula, who helped with Fant commentating the last match. So, Vulagen, hello.
Yo, what's up? That was pretty fun. But if you guys enjoyed these matches today, guess what? We've got more for you next weekend. We have a doubles exhibition match taking place next Saturday, October the 7th, 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And it's going to be an exhibition of the new version of the randomizer by Sigma himself, version 2.0. And it's going to be between two slightly different teams. We're going to be mixing it up a bit. Terra from Team Zote is going to mix up with Meldon from, of course, Team Skillless. They're going to go up against Oshi and Hydra on the other side. and they're going to play the Expert difficulty on version 2.0, which features very different pathing. The randomizer will expect you to do more complicated and more difficult things. They're also going to do that on Starved mode, so it is going to give them the absolute minimum in terms of energy and other resources. And they're also going to be playing on Path difficulty Hard, which means there's a very good chance that we will be seeing both Horu and Forlorn. We'll see. There's a lot of cool stuff involved in version 2.0. Picking up certain items can give you access to teleporters that you haven't been to yet, so that's really cool, and you'll be able to see that. Again, it's next Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and then we will be bringing you the final of the singles bracket from the same tournament here. That is going to be next Sunday, the 8th. The time is to be determined, and that will be between Covert Muffin and Mad Insane, who have just absolutely steamrolled that bracket so far, and we're going to see something really impressive from them, I'm sure, and that will also be best of 3. You guys, I assume, are probably going to be pretty excited for that, Fant, Grim?
Of course, no, the singles final is going to be absolutely insane, I should say.
I am also excited.
It would be mad.
Oh my god.
Ban him. Ban him.
Ban him. You're turning into the Roos is loose.
So yeah, that's gonna do it for us for today, I guess, right?
Indeed.
Any final thoughts for our viewers?
I'm gonna just lay this out for Terra, Meldon, Oshi, and Hydra. We need team names, guys. So make sure come up with something amazing before the doubles exhibition match next Saturday.
And Graham, as for you, any final thoughts?
That was neat. Good job, everyone.
I couldn't have said it better myself. On behalf of the truck today, Griffs, Oshi, Fant, you're totally in the truck. We're counting you. You were actually going to be in the truck eventually.
I was going to be in the truck if this went to a third match, yeah.
So we Grim, Tara, Steven, all of y'all, thank you very much. And even some people who have just typed in that channel will go with Bob. Yeah, Bob's there too. And Hobbs popping in as well.
Yeah.
Also thanks to Richard, of course, for restreaming as always. And on behalf of Grim and Fant, thank you guys very much for watching. We will see you next weekend.
Remembers that top left keystone, because that's dash. That's huge. I think he saw it in the screen as he was going down.
Oh, he forgot it! He doesn't know.
Man, that and dash was in the top. There's no way he's gonna get that now.
Right? Beautiful. 7 XP. Oh, Wilson! Wilson, what are you doing? No!
Never forget. Always.
Oh, Wilson, what are you doing? You just got wall jump. You can go in. You have charge jump. Go in the thing. Okay, he's got it. It's very good. Oh, no. Still. Oh, Elfrey Gen saving him. Oh, Elfrey Gen.
Man, he's good.
Oh, Elfrey Gen saving him again.
Oh, you leveled up. He's good.
Oh, jeez.
All the time. Please don't die. Go on.
So he has he has pretty much everything.
No, please! Oh, he could have saved it. He should have went to the right side wall. No. He's in disbelief right now as well. He has things that he required.
All right, but is he gonna skip over Bash? Oh no! He's walking past it. Let's see.
Correct area of it.
Oh, the Bash fight from Raz! Is Raz yelling? Oh no! Oh, yeah,
Kicking it out.
Oh gosh!
You'll be able to see whether it was water vein or not.
Yeah,
Oh,
here
man.
we go.
What is it? It's not!
Experience!
It's not!
Oh, 50% chance of a 4 seed. Yeah, looks like Fluffy now is abandoning the Fluffy way and embracing Team Forlorn. Is this going to be possible? Because he doesn't have Bash.
It is possible. It is just the hardest thing in the world, and you end up
What, really?
stomping up there.
What? Oh my god.
What? How did he do that so quickly?
Place monument. It looks like he is going to let the Froggy break the block, so he will get in that XP. And it's Bash.
You head up to the
Oh
retreat.
no! Oh, Oshi did. That's lovely. Is he gonna do it? Please! No! So sad that he's making this choice because it's going to put him way behind for the time being.
Commentator curse.
Why this must happen to us?
Oh, the rock is on the head of the frog.
Frog just balancing that rock on his head.
But oh, good lord, there's so many screens. Alright. Then the bottom right, you got Uncle Roddy and Hitachi Hex, and for some reason they get consigned to the small space.